So today we're going to show you how to make a romesco, which is a traditional sauce from Spain, regularly eaten with meat, fish, veg, whatever you like. It's a nut-based sauce. The way we make it is slightly different to other methods. A lot of them are purely hazelnut or purely almond. We mix the two because I think it just gives it a better balance.
Nutty.
So to start, you just want to toast off your nuts because that just adds to the flavour, gives them a real depth that they wouldn't have if they're just blanched. So just get a nice dry pan, no oil at all, because you're just trying to get that toasty flavour onto these. Just turn that up.
Our blend is about 1/3 hazelnuts to 2/3 almonds, just because the almond really gives it that velvety depth, but then you also get the really nutty flavour coming from the hazelnuts.
While they're toasting, I'll just show you what other ingredients we're going to put into this. Okay, so there's chilli, red pepper, garlic and tomato. Now if you're at home, you could either do this in a pan like we are today, or you'd roast off these elements separate. So just in a nice dish, coating of oil into the oven, roast them on a nice high heat for 40 minutes. The idea of that is we're going to get a real nice caramelisation and deep flavour into the pepper, the tomato, the chilli, and that really helps bring this dish together. Today what we'll do is we'll just do it nice hot pan to get that flavour, and then we'll show you the process. Now, like I was saying, this is a lovely accompaniment to most Spanish cuisine. As you can see, it using those key flavours in Spanish cookery, which is the garlic, the chilli. So these are toasting off lovely now. And one thing that we love to serve this with in our restaurants is calcots. These are the calcots here, which are DO'd now in Spain. So they're like a large spring onion, but they have a lot more flavour. We currently do these in our restaurants, and they're either done in the josper, which gives it a lovely barbecue flavour, on our grills in the restaurants. You just literally grill them off, cook them, almost blacken them on the outside, and the middle goes real nice and soft. As you can see now, those are just starting to toast off lovely now. Just keep moving that pan, because you don't want to catch them, so you'll get a real nice flavour into it. Okay, and then we're just going to put them into here and set them aside just while we finish off the rest of the cooking. So now we've brought that right up, we're just going to knock down the temperature a little bit, in with a little bit of oil. We're going to do off the veg. Now don't do the tomatoes straight away if you're doing it in the pan, because you want to get the nice caramelisation on these first. So just going to go straight in with the peppers, the chilli and the garlic. Okay, just going to move that around, get a nice bit of flavour. Like I said before, if you want to do this in the oven, ideal. You can just roast them whole, you don't have to cut the pepper up, then just remove the seeds just as before you roast it.
What you'll find with roasting them whole as well, you'll get lots of the natural moisture within the peppers and the tomatoes will drop out from that, and that again prevents from having to use too much oil when turning it into the sauce.
Just going to season the veg up. Always with cooking, if you aim to season during the process and then taste at the end and season again. If you just taste at the end, you'll find it's a lot harder to get it right. It's a lot easier to build the seasoning throughout the dish. Because now they're starting to just saute down and cook off, we're just going to turn up the heat a little bit, because we want to get that real colour on these, because that's where a lot of the flavour of this comes from. Again, ideal in the summer if you're doing this. You're going to do your calcots outside on the barbecue. It's great to roast your peppers out on there on the barbecue. Again, just getting that real flavour. Okay, so now they've started to colour off, we go in with the tomatoes. They're just going to cook off nicely in there.
Now while that's cooking away, you want to get an initial blitz on the nuts just to break them down, because obviously all of this is soft texture once that's cooked, whereas the nuts are still quite whole and coarse. So we want to just get a rough blitz. Now obviously we're not taking them all the way, because we still want some of the coarse bit of them. They are now, as you can see, some have turned into a fine breadcrumb, some have still quite whole inside. Perfect.
Okay, so now we've got that bit of colour on these. We'll transfer these into this dish. Again, now they're ready, they're going just straight into the same. You don't have to separate, because you're going to use the juices that come naturally out of the pepper, the tomato, the chilli and the garlic. You're just going to help bind it. We're also going to use some oil and some sherry vinegar. This is lovely stuff. We use it a lot in any of our marinades, our sauces. It's not as It's not as sharp as what you get from a malt vinegar. It's a lot easier on the palate. It's got a nice sweetness to it, and this really just helps lift dishes like this.
Just a touch at the beginning, you can always add more after and when we're seasoning to taste.
And all we're going to do is keep letting that down with a bit of oil, just till we get that nice consistency. It wants to be not runny, but it wants to be able to, if you're going to dip something into that, it's just going to stick to it nicely. One thing that's really good about Spanish cooking is they thicken the sauces with ground almonds, ground hazelnuts. It's always something that's going to add flavour to the dish. Once we've got this nicely blitzed down, we always throughout I'm going, we really look at seasoning at the end of cooking as well. Now the best thing to season at the end is the Maldon salt. Now it's a great product. Not only you've got that initial seasoning, but salt like this, you get that lovely pop when you bite into it. So we always use that at the end, just helps really pick the dish up. You can sort of smell the lovely sweetness of the vinegar coming through, and it just gives a lovely acidity to this. Any barbecue, anything like that, this is a great dip to sort of have out there. And obviously it's gluten free as well, which is ideal. How are we looking, Rich?
Perfect, if I do say so myself.
There we have it, Romesco.